a blessed Sunday to us. There is one very particular dimension inasmuch as these two episodes put into one is concerned. And I already said this at the start of the Mass today in the introduction as an invitation to experience such a very great desire. And what is that? To be able to touch the Lord and also to be touched by Him. This is just one particular dimension of it. But this is so significant in this so-called, I remember as a student, this episode in the Gospel of Mark is called a sandwiched episode. No? Og naa gani sandwich, naa dyan duha ka pan og naay palaman. Ay, gusto mo na mo ron, hapit na bang alas 12. No? Why sandwich? Because the story of the woman suffering hemorrhages for 12 years is put in between, in the middle of the story of Jairus' daughter, who at the beginning was at the point of death and later on died. But Jesus raised her up. So where is the desire to touch the Lord come from in that episode? It is coming from the story of the woman suffering in hemorrhage. He dared it all. That's what faith is. She dared it. No? But of course, Jesus always has a way of recognizing or unrecognizing it at first. Siya, ruwa siya kabalo. Oh, Ginoo good siya, Diyos good siya. But of course, it was some kind of a question that arouses the person who do it. You know, sometimes in our lives, yung ana ba ang atong maginikanan, no? Dili diretso nga mosulti, ipaagi pa og sambingay until we ourselves are able to say, uy, ako man di ito gipasabtan, diba? But then the beautiful thing is, daughter, go, your faith has saved you. The daring that the woman did is none other than what faith is in the mind and in the heart of Jesus. Hopefully, we will also have one like that. The second point of being touched by the Lord actually is found in the raising up of the daughter of Jairus. Because raising up actually already describes an act of resurrection. If the child really has died, the raising up, no, the expression in Aramaic is talitha kumi. No? I remember as a student, talitha kum is written in the text. But since it is a child, no, there is a feminine form to it. So it's talitha kumi. That's what you heard me read it. But then, this is where we are able to see, regardless of age or status in life, the Lord touches everyone. Now, it is in this context that I would like to also put within the perspective as being touched and to be touched by the Lord. This has always been part of today's celebration because we have to respond to the very challenge that is happening around us in terms of the desire, or already in the moment or at the moment, the bill of divorce is being brought into the Senate. And so, as we continue to reflect and to savor and to see the unchangeable value of marriage and as a family, we are constantly reminded of the things that are practically happening. I am not making my homily in the sense that I am making my own. Nag-agad ragyog ko sa giandam nga mga puntos kay para dili ko magka puras-puras, dili magsima-sima ang akong isulti. But I would like to tell you something about this divorce law that is being already brought for towards approval or disapproval. So padayon ta sa mga pag-ampo. Now, the first thing that is actually remarkably described is that divorce laws or whatever laws or forms of divorce are superfluous in the case of the Philippine scenario. Because the points and the grounds presented in this particular law as it is are already the same things that are considered in annulment, which is the way that the church deals with such a problem. Of course, not all our relationships are perfect. That is why the church also is very much aware of that. But we are not encouraging or espousing divorce, but only legal separation or annulment, which is to establish that right from the very beginning, there was no marriage, which is the exact opposite of divorce, which is breaking the bond of marriage right there and then. Muni nga, wise kaayo ang mga nag-propose niini kay gigamit na ang mga naa sa simbahan nga mga pamaagi. So do not be deceived. Okay? Just like the case of this was brought up in the group chat of the clergy. This is just like the Garden of Eden. No? Adam and Eve were practically put into a test, and it was the devil who wisely ng demonyo. And if you heard it right in the first reading today, through the envy of the devil, death came. No? So there are so many things. We're not calling them evil, but the influence of evil is practically all over us. And then they would say that divorce is cheaper than annulment. No, mo na ilahang sales talk. But of course, it's not easy to, according to the scriptures, to destroy or to separate what God has already united. Now, the second point brought about is divorce undermines family solidarity and is unconstitutional. Nga naman, ang ato ang 1987 Constitution has already espoused the sanctity of marriage as an institution. Here comes now the move to destroy that marriage. So, isn't it ironical or is it contradictory? Okay, third, this move devalues marriage. Marriage as a sacrament is something that we have to always look at from the very point of view of the love of both man and woman. In fact, diha sa sakramento sa marriage, sa kaminyoon, ang pari, dili mo ang actually the pari is just the witness. Those who actually make the marriage work or the sacrament are the man and the woman. But of course, let us consider so many things among other things. Muna nga, we are putting a particular concern and awareness that this particular problem is also, by the way, taken up by the Family Life Apostolate. Muna nga, we have to be also aware and reach out whenever there are things that may somehow happen. Now, just a little bit of a perspective. Divorce leads to the breakdown of marriages and families. For example, in the United States, the divorce rate is 50% for first marriages. First, ug na gani first, na po'y second. And then 60% for second marriages and 70% for third marriages. So, divorce is already the start of a cycle of broken relationships. Kaya nga naman, dali naman kayo. No? Unsa man ka mag-shopping. No? But then this is a way of reminding us that there are so many things that we have to take a look into the trust and the promises that each and every husband and wife made or makes during the sacrament into their marriage. And part of that are the so-called things of adjustment. When you are married, it's not perfect already. You're moving towards that particular state. But daghan kayong mga panghitabo. That's why the church is not also kanabang murag wala gi pagpakabana nga wala po'y gihimo. That's why there are so many interventions as well. And then the next thing that is important to note is divorce harms children. No? Maglibog kung asa padulong ang mga anak. And sometimes dili ni siya bias usually against the father nga usahay mawala na sa image, wala na sa picture. Mo biya na joke nga ang usa ka inahan nga gidyaan sa iyang bana nga mo'y nagtagad sa iyang mga anak, mao na ang tatay, mao pagid ang nanay. Ang tawag ana inatay. Inahan og tatay. Anyway, sorry for that thing, but that is a very serious concern. Another thing is it is a better choice for society. Muna ilahang propaganda. But it's not. Because the idea that divorce provides people with a necessary choice is flawed. The indissolubility of marriage is a better rational choice on humans, social and religious grounds. So persevering the permanence of marriage supports the well-being of individuals and society as a whole. And finally, there is this one thing that is very Filipino. Kana bang pagka sunod-sunuran natong mga Pinoy ba, walay originality. Usa sa ilang mga argument is, kita na lang kuno sa Pilipinas ang walay divorce. So, is it something really significant to have an international reputation? Well, it is a reputation that we hold on to it. But it's not something that kay mo igihimo sa uban, mao ko himuon. No? So it is actually the upholding of the permanence of marriage reflects our decision to value family and social stability. And it is in this context, therefore, that to be touched by the Lord and touching the Lord is part and parcel of this particular concern. We want to touch the Lord. This may somehow be connected with the enduring or recurring problems in our times. We're familiar and we know that. But then, it is not that we just want to touch the Lord and not allow Him to be touched by Him. Eh kung maghimo ra tag ato ang decision, who is the author of marriage after all? Nganong di man nato apilon ang kabubuton sa Dios sa atong kinabuhi? So if we want to touch Him, let Him also touch us. And finally, I would like to read the letter of the Archbishop of Cebu, Most Reverend or His Grace Jose Espalma. Mo ni iyang sulat. Dear faithful of the Archdiocese of Cebu, while we acknowledge the reality that some couples live in irreparably broken marriages, it is important to recognize that legal separation and the declaration of unity of marriage already address these situations. Divorce is not a solution. Diha bito tinangutana, if divorce is the answer, what is the question? Do not be deceived by the notion that it will only affect those who seek it. Be aware that divorce will redefine marriage by eliminating its permanent character. It is not true that divorce will not harm anyone. Studies show that children suffer most in a divorce. Divorce undermines the sanctity of marriage and leads to the breakdown of marriages and families. We must be well informed about the harms of divorce and aware of the existing means to address the problems that divorce purports to solve. We have programs to promote healthy marital relationships that, when utilized, can greatly assist couples in avoiding toxic unions. Our Commission on Family and Life actively promotes these programs, and we need to increase awareness and participation in them. I appeal to all the faithful of the Archdiocese of Cebu to join hands in our effort to make it known that we do not accept divorce due to the damage it will inflict, not only on us Catholics, but on our values as a nation. I also urge all priests to be more zealous in preparing couples for their lifelong union of marriage, rather than just officiating the wedding ceremony. It is the enduring union that needs careful preparation, not merely the ceremony that lasts an hour. Together, let us uphold the sanctity and permanence of marriage. Sincerely yours, Jose Espalma Didi, Archbishop of Cebu. And so with that, without losing the perspective and the desire to touch the Lord, let Him touch us in the many ways that He wants us, that is fitting, so that we will be able to understand with the help of each other in union, not in separation, in unity, in reintegration, and in sanctity. Amen.